content. This may be extra content that you build into the event intentionally from the outset of the event, maybe content related to the main sessions and breakouts, and maybe related to different audience segments. Or it may be the post-event video on-demand content. It's helpful for you to give some thought regarding how you would like the event to look after the live portion of the event is over. The immediate purpose for video on-demand content is as a catch-up service so that your attendees don't miss the content that has just occurred. This may be through including a basic DVR functionality on the live player, or having video on-demand archives available to access immediately after the session. For catch-up purposes, you will often find that people will access this archive content close to the event. However, this demand will often gradually tail off. While you can archive your content by event session 1, 2, 3, 4, if your event has a strong speaker lineup and subject flow, it may be wise to include video archives that can be organized by speaker, by topic, or by any other genre of metadata that you've selected. Our experience shows that even old archival content can be resurrected with new demand if placed in the right setting. If building a strong post-archive experience is something you want to achieve, it's important that when you're planning for the event, you ask the basic permissions that are needed for this to happen. On the Sardius platform, we will help you create what we call the quote-unquote post-event, an exclusively on-site in-person event. A virtual event gives you the opportunity to create a more curated, ongoing experience for a much longer time after the actual live event has finished. Determining the right analytics. Now, this little part of our guide could have been placed near the beginning, as it goes hand in hand with determining your metrics of success. However, it is also typically the last part of the event. It's important with any event that you look back retrospectively and determine your successes and your failures, the areas that can be improved, and the areas that need to be dispensed with in the future. With online events, it is in some ways easier to determine the level of engagement in each component of the event, as you have the ability to quantify to some degree how your audience engaged with each video and part of the event. There are a number of ways that Sardius sets up analytics. However, as with many aspects of the world-changing event, how you set up analytics is determined in many ways by what you need to see to establish whether the event has been successful. The analytics we receive are based on, firstly, player statistics. The built-in statistic engine on the Sardius platform is focused on stats around the video players in your event. This means that there are many and varied analytics around the demographics of who watched your video content, where they watched it from, on what device they watched it on, how long they watched it for, which content they skipped, and which they engaged in. In addition to those video player analytics, you can also get page analytics. We also have this ability to apply your Google Analytics account to different components of the event. This also includes your sponsor's ability to include their Google Analytics account on their sponsor experience, which gives you the ability to track page views versus player views. This can give you the ability to track how many individuals click through on certain calls to action. And some of these calls to action may be key to your key metrics in the event. Ultimately, there's no silver bullet to ensure without a shadow of a doubt that your event will be successful. There's inherent risk involved in pretty much everything in life. However, if you follow the steps outlined in this guide, you have a much greater chance of not only knowing what you want to achieve, but actually achieving it. Obviously, as the size and the complexity of your event grows, the checklists of tasks to complete the event successfully will grow. If you're already a Sardius client, our event management team is waiting to get into those many lists of tasks that have to be completed so that you will have a world-changing event. If you're not a client, our business development team is really open to having a conversation about whether Sardius is the right platform for you at this moment to take your event to the next level. No matter if you use Sardius or not, we're rooting for the success of your events and your organization. And I thank you so much for taking the time to go through this event guide.